I remember this one time when me and this girl was planning on going on a date together. However, I had no clue on what to do, where to go, and I didn't even know how first dates work. And so I would always think that it was such an annoying thing to always plan the dates because she'd always ask me what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go. And I'd be like, but what the fuck? I wouldn't even know. But what do you wanna do? But I didn't realize at that point that not being able to plan first dates is extremely unattractive for a man. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the ways that you can easily just plan out a first date and also how to execute it in the perfect way. This video is also if, for example, you're below 18 and you can't always have those fancy dinner dates or all of these expensive things that you can do for your girl. But before we get into more detail in that, I'm just giving you some general tips on what you should think of when planning your first dates. So first up, you always want to do the dates in the evening. The evening is the best time for any sort of like link up with any girl, and that's because it's more in the evening when you get, this intimate vibe, this. But it's always in the evening when you have the right vibe. Whereas, for example, in the day, it's like, it doesn't give up the same vibe, you know what I'm saying? And it's always during the evening where the girls are more, sort of like more intimate to doing things, for like kissing or if you want to do sex on the first day. It's always in the evening. Now, what do you actually pick for the first date? If you're below the age of 18, then in my opinion, I think the actual best thing to do is to go out on walks. And the reason why I think this is the best alternative is because it's the safest option and also the most versatile option. You can actually move however you want to. You can make whatever moves you want. So that's actually the activity where you actually have the most options to go out of and actually have the best success. Now let me just walk you through some things that you should not do on the first date. So going to the cinema, eating at like restaurants, or any sort of activity where you like don't focus on each other but on the task. And the reason is because do these things oh, sorry. The reason is because on the first date, you actually want to get to know the other person. You actually want to get to know the girl. And you can't really get to know the girl if you're watching a movie. Do you get what I mean? Or if you're eating at a restaurant. Now, don't get me wrong. Going to the cinema or going to a restaurant is a great idea for a date, just not the first one. The first or the second should always be like you getting to know each other, you being on this vibe, you talking to each other. Not time where you spend focusing on like a different task, like watching a movie or eating something. Now you can grab like a snack, for example. You can like go and get ice cream, that's fine. But I mean like if you're both sitting down on a fancy restaurant, eating like some pasta, that's a great idea for a date, just not the first one. Like, do you see what I mean? And that's why going on walks is the perfect date for you. Because that's where you have the best chance to actually get to know the girl. Where you're walking around, you're talking, you can show them places, you can check out their interests. It's super versatile, and that's why I think that it's the best option for any guy out there. Even if they're younger or below 18, or sorry, if you're above 18, I'd suggest walks or going out to like a bar to have like a small drink. That's the perfect. But if you're below 18, then going on walks is the perfect for you. Now, how do you actually prepare before a date? What I like to do is, before I actually meet her, I always make her text me before, telling me that she's on her way or she's preparing. In this way, or this way, I can always like assure that I'm not getting flaked on, that she's not gonna show up. Because when she's texting me that she's on her way, it's like, okay, she's actually going. Now I can go too. It's not that, for example, I go there and then she doesn't show up and I'm like, what the fuck going on? And I'm texting like, where are you? And she says, oh, I can't today. I'd be like, bro, you're wasting my fucking time. So I always make her like, let me know if she's coming or not before. And you should actually try to implement this too because no one wants to waste their fucking time, bro. Like, when, And it's when she texts you like, I'm getting ready or I'm leaving, that's when you get ready. So let's say you're going about your business, I don't know what you're doing. I'm playing fucking video games, I don't even know. But you're at your house and you know you got a date at like 4. When she texts you like, I'm getting ready or I'm leaving, that's when you get ready. It doesn't matter if it's like 30 minutes until 4 or 20 minutes until 4, 5 minutes until 4. If she doesn't text you, you don't fucking get ready. You don't leave the house until she texts you that she's ready. If you trust this method, but you're never getting flaked on, you're absolutely never getting flaked on. If she cancels, it's like, oh, you didn't even prepare for it. I mean, it's like, you got nothing to lose. Now, you might be thinking like, but what if I get late, bro? And to be completely honest with you, I've been late on multiple dates and I've still bagged the girl. So, I mean, it's not really, it's not that big of a deal if you come a bit late. Yeah, and I know some guys that like, have been like 2 hours late and they've still fucked on the first day. So it's like, it's a bit, you know what I'm saying? It's not the worst thing ever. Like, you can come a bit late. It's not that deep. Trust me, it's not that deep. You can come 20, 30 minutes late, but it's not that deep. I'm telling you, trust me. It's not that deep. Better for you to just get ready, don't get flaked on, you know what I'm saying? Another thing is, before the actual date, I like to play some music in like at my house or on the way there. I always like to like play some type of music which makes me relax, and also I just give myself affirmations, telling myself things like I'm the fucking Chad, I'm that fucking Chad. Like, I'm telling myself these things to hype myself up. I always hype myself up before a date. And the reason why I do that is because I already at the beginning of the day, I want to set myself as like cool, confident guy who's high status. And I do that by just reassuring myself, talking to myself, hyping myself up, so that I get into this mood, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, first impressions are really important. If you come in with this like, not so good vibe, but she's gonna notice and she's not gonna she ain't gonna fuck with you that much. She's not gonna have this vibe with you. But if you already come in with the confidence and like that vibe where you hyped yourself up, she's gonna notice that. Another really important thing before you go on a date is always make sure that you're taking a shower or brushing your teeth. This is so fucking important because what you don't realize is if you brush your teeth in the morning, but throughout the day, your breath is going to smell. It doesn't matter if you fasted for the whole day, but your breath is going to smell. So before every single date, brush your teeth, brush your tongue, scrape your tongue to make sure that your breath does not stink. And that that she can actually look at you in the face, be close to you, and not be disgusted by your smell. So many guys don't think about this because they can't, smell their own breath. But I'm telling you, if a girl was standing right in front of you, but she's gonna notice that smell. Especially if you've eaten something, or if you haven't brushed your teeth, bro. And shower always, but you always want to smell good. Hygiene is like top 3 things you have to think about when you're going out with a girl. So always make sure that you're fresh, you're clean, you smell good. Your breath, your body, your cologne, all of that. Make sure that you always smell fresh. Always. So before a date, take a shower, brush your teeth, and like you can brush your teeth for like 30 seconds. Brush your tongue, scrape your tongue, boom. Take a fucking chewing gum, some mint tablets. Like, always make sure your breath smells good. You always make sure your breath is on top. Trust me, this is a game changer. Because a lot of guys miss out on their dates because they have such a stinky fucking breath and the girls don't want to kiss them. And the same thing with like you smelling bad. If you smell bad, bro, you already lost. Because the girl don't want to be with you no more. She just want to get close to you because you fucking smell. You smell. And for your own good, it's like you don't miss out on like taking a shower, brushing your teeth. So just do it. Just do it, bro. Trust me. You're gonna see such improvements. If you're interested, I got a course in the link below which you should check out, where I explain all of this in much more detail, and I also go through many other steps for you to attract whatever woman you want. You should really check it out. It's like, I think it's like less than half price now, because I'm building up the course right now, so you should definitely check it out right now. Now we've come to what to actually do when you get to the day. So firstly, I see so many guys when they get on the first date. Or I know so many guys where like when they get on the first date that they're stiff and awkward. And I used to be like this. I remember, like one of the first girls I used to date. But every time we would meet, I'd always just walk up to her, just stand there and be like, "Hi, how you?" Just stand there, all stiff and awkward, like, "Oh, what are we gonna do now?" You don't want to come across as that guy. So instantly, what you're gonna do is when you see her, you walk up to her with confidence, and you stretch out your hand like this, like going in for a hug. You always want to hug on the first date. Like you're always going for like a hug, either a side hug or like a front hug. But that shows that you're comfortable, and it also makes her a little more comfortable, like you're calm. Because a lot of times when the guy is calm, the girl is also calm. When the guy is like all stiff and awkward, the girl also gets stiff and awkward. She follows what you do. What you feel, she's gonna feel the same way. And that's not attractive. So when you set this confidence upon yourself, and you show that confidence to her, like she's gonna calm down, and she's gonna be more, what's the word? She's gonna be more comfortable. And like always think that like it's the first day, you always wanna have fun. Always think to yourself that you're there to have fun. Not necessarily to get like results, but to have fun, to get to know the girl, to talk to a new person, to get to know a new person. Always be there to have fun. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you're always be there to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Another tip, which I tell most guys, of what I usually do is when I go on a date, I always like to put like my arm around her when we walk. So anytime we go on, like we walk somewhere, I always like to put like my arm around her like this, which she's standing right here. I always put my arm around her like this. And that shows like, that shows like, what's it? Sorry, sorry. Again, that shows like confidence in you, and it's also, some girls like that. Some girls think that it's pretty attractive when the guy holds her like this. Now, you kind of have to sense the mood. If you can like tell that she's not really that attracted to you, like, then maybe you shouldn't do it. But like, if you're kind of experienced and you know like how to tell if a woman likes you or not, then go for it. Like, you got nothing to lose. Now, when we get to the first day, what you want to make sure is that you're not talking as much as you're supposed to. Do you know the biggest reason why most guys fumble is because they always talk too much? Always. 9 times out of 10 is because they talk too much. And you want to avoid this as much as possible. And the way you do it is to let her talk. Let her do around like 70% of the talking, and you stick to like 30%, where you ask her questions, you tease her, you have fun. And you don't want to ask her questions that kind of feels like an interview. You want to ask her more deep questions, more fun questions. Deep and fun, perfect combo. You don't want to go with like this interview. How many siblings you got? Oh, where do you live? Like, what kind of music do you like? Like, come on, these are boring questions, and you, compared to all other guys, you want to stand out. You want to make her feel like, oh, this guy's special. So ask her a lot of deep questions, a lot of fun questions. And like, always speak less than necessary. You don't have to overindulge in like the speaking or explaining. Always like just say less than necessary. This is also how you keep sort of mystery to yourself, and how you make her want to like know more about you. Just let her talk, let her do the speaking, let her tell you all the story. Sometimes you can like tell a story or two, but you always want to make sure that she's doing most of the speaking. Now, make sure that on every single date, you are the one to leave first. You don't want to be on the date where you wait it out until she has to go. You always want to be the busy guy, and to be frank, you should be busy. You should go on a date, but you should also be busy. Like, you should have plans after the date. So you should always be the one to leave first. That way, it also kind of builds up some sort of mystery, because you're a busy man, and she kind of gets attracted to like what you do, what you're gonna do after, who you're gonna meet, especially if you have a good time. You always want to be the guy that leaves first, because in that case, like, it just adds points to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the guys who want to lean into the kiss on the first date, you actually kind of have to know. You actually kind of have to be kind of experienced to like tell if she wants to go for the kiss on the first date or not. But I'd suggest like, don't rush. If you're on the first date, you don't have to kiss on the first date. You can easily do it on like the second or third date. Completely fine. But kissing on the first date, I would only like tell you to kiss on the first date if you actually feel like a very good connection to this girl, and she does the same to you, where you actually like vibe with each other, and you can just tell that she's really into you. But what you do essentially is on the first, second, or third date, where you sort of feel like this vibe going on, what you do is you get close to her, you look at her in the eyes, then you look at her lips for a few seconds, and then you look back into her eyes. If she does the same, or she doesn't have to do the same. When you've done that, and she keeps holding eye contact, what you want to do is you take your hand, you put it right like behind the neck like this. If she does not show any resistance, then you're good to go. Then you just lean in. But if you put your hand and she kind of shows like a little bit of resistance, you can feel like tension, then just back away. Back away. That's the most respectful thing you can do, is just back away. Now, some guys might be like afraid that she's gonna reject you when you're trying to lean in. But I'm telling you, like, it's not the biggest thing if she doesn't want to lean in at that moment. Like, you could try to lean in, she rejects you, then like 5 minutes later you try to lean in again and she goes for it. So sometimes it just doesn't fit the mood, sometimes she's just not ready for it. But that doesn't mean she doesn't want to kiss you. That doesn't mean that you fumbled. You can go for the kiss, be rejected, then go for the kiss again, and she's accepting it and she's making out with you. So don't be scared that you might be rejected on the first time, second time, third time. I've had instances where I've leaned in for the kiss, she's rejected like 4 or 5 times. But then when I lean in for the 6th time, she goes with it and she starts fucking making out, I'm telling you. So don't be scared of fumbling. It doesn't exist. Because you gotta set the mood. You gotta see the mood. If you notice that she's not comfortable, then don't lean in for the kiss. Only lean in for the kiss when you both are comfortable and you both have this vibe together. Anyways, make sure to check out my program in the link below. It's very cheap right now. You should definitely check it out when you have the chance, because I'm gonna increase the price later when I'm finished with the course. Anyway, it's the end of my video. Hope you like it. See you in the next time.